Chapter 10. The trouble with airports in Spain is they're a bit like the ones in England, only hotter. By the time we got off the plane and onto a bus and driven the airport building and given our passports to a grumpy Spanish man who never smiled and then waited for our suitcases to come out and then found a trolley and then lifted my rucksack onto the trolley and then got back to try and find Nanny and Grampy's squeak wheel, my face was really bowling. That's the trouble with sunshine in Spain. It can burn straight through whole buildings. And coaches. The coach that drove us to our hotel after we'd left the airport was even hotter. Mom said that the air conditioning on the coach can't have been working, and that if we were going to have a holiday in Spain, then we would just have to get used to hot temperatures. If you ask me, my mom was really pleased it was so hot in Spain. Being hot in Spain makes the dribble on your shoulder dry up much, much quicker. It was far too hot in the coach for me, though. Sitting on that coach was like being a jacket potato in a microwave. No, it was like being a chicken nugget in a red-hot oven. Actually, it was like being a crispy sausage that's been fallen through the gap onto the barbecue coals, and then had loads more red-hot coals and some burning mustard put on top. Anyway, that's probably why I fainted. Mom said I didn't faint, I fell asleep, but I definitely didn't. Even if she said I did. And I definitely didn't do any snoring. Even if she said I did. And I definitely didn't do any dribbling. Even Mom said I didn't do any dribbling. Anyway, boy, was I pleased when we arrived at our hotel. And double boy, was I excited when we got our suitcases off the coach and carried them inside. You should have seen how Spanish everything was inside the hotel. Everything I looked there were Spanish things all over the place. There were Spanish people with Spanish name badges. There were great big Spanish pots with blue and white patterns on them, and massive posters of Spanish ladies doing Spanish dancing on the wall. Plus, there was a great big Spanish floor that you could do Spanish skids on. Plus, there were actual plants with lemons growing on them in actual Spanish. And you'll just never guess what else there was, growing out of the actual ground inside the actual hotel. You'll just never guess. Real actual palm trees. Right up close to where we were actually standing, and over by the window, and over by all the other windows too. There were real, actual Spanish palm trees all over the place. I reckon someone must have picked all the coconuts, because I couldn't see any, but all the other palm tree bits were there. Great big trunks and great big palm tree leaves growing inside our actual hotel. It was so exciting. I wanted to jump up and down and do skids and roly-polies all over the place. I wanted to do whoop-de-doops and fiddle-de-dellas and be jumpier and skiddier than I'd ever been before in my whole life. And then I realized why. I'd never been excited in Spanish before. Mom said I should remember that I was English and try and keep my whoop-de-doops and fiddle-de-dellas to a minimum, so I tried. But then I saw our room, then I saw our balcony, and then I saw the pool. I could see the actual swimming pool from the actual balcony of our actual room. It had really blue water with people in it, plus a great big yellow slide. I've never put a swimming costume on so fast in my life. Chapter 11. The trouble with swimming costumes is after you put them on, you have to put sun cream on as well, all the time. I couldn't wait to get into the pool and slide down the great big yellow slide into the water, but Mom said midday suns in Spain can roast you like a turkey twizzler, so I wasn't allowed anywhere until I'd put my sun cream on. The first time my mom put the sun cream on my face, I asked her to do me a really scary zombie face. so I could frighten everyone in the pool. Trouble is, when I got to the pool, lots of other children had scary blue zombie faces too. One boy called Harrison even had a green face. Harrison was the first friend I met in the pool on holiday. Actually, I didn't exactly meet him. I kind of landed on top of him, which wasn't my fault because he shouldn't have been doing shark impressions at the bottom of the yellow slide. And anyway, it didn't hurt him when I landed on him. He just went under the water, disappeared for a while, and then came up over by the getting up steps. Except he didn't get out. He stayed in. At first, I thought he might be a bit cross, but he wasn't cross at all. He smiled at me, emptied some water out of his swimming goggles, and then swam back towards me to say hello. Harrison was 8 and ever such a good swimmer. And he could do proper dives into the deep with his legs together. Plus, he had a baby sister called Jojo. The trouble with Jojo is she was only 3, which meant she sank nearly all the time, unless she had her rubber ring and armbands on. Harrison said he was in charge of Jojo when she was in the pool, especially when his mom and dad were lying down on the sun loungers with their eyes shut, which was most of the time. Harrison said that being in charge of Jojo was the same as being a lifeguard, which is really good because I never met an actual lifeguard before, especially a green one. When Harrison took me over to the shallow end to meet Jojo, I met loads of other children on the way. There was Carly from Birmingham, Danny from Newcastle, Maddie from Devon, and Cerise and Montague from Surrey. Cerise and Montague were really tanned because they'd already been at the hotel for a week. Everyone else was mostly blue except for Maddie, who was blue with pink and red peely bits on his shoulders. Everyone wanted to play with me, and everyone wanted to know my name. It was brilliant. I'd only been in the pool 5 minutes, and I had 7 new friends already. Harrison and Jojo were going to be my best friends on holiday, though. I never have found the kittens without Harrison and Jojo, at least not without Harrison and Jojo's frisbee. Finish! See you next time. Bye!